Bouchard also made it to the semifinals in Vegas at the most recent Open event. A nice drop volley and a great sequence for Genie Bouchard.
Yeah, found the backhand of Schneeman early and was able to hold on with a couple nice shots deep into the forehand corner, and then using all parts of the court with that last short ball to Schneeman's backhand again. Great ball there from Genie Bouchard out wide to the forehand of Schneeman, who is coming into the kitchen line right off the tip of the paddle.
2-0.
Inside out whip from Genie Bouchard, 3-0 lead on Schneeman.
Yeah, that was very nice. Schneeman's return wasn't bad, and it was into the middle of the court, so not a lot of angles available for Genie Bouchard, but she found one.
Drop volley attempt into the net. Schneeman not pleased with her performance so far.
Yeah, she's got to come up with that volley, but Genie Bouchard on the run made it somewhat difficult for Schneeman and forced that error.
4-0.
So again, similar kind of a carbon copy of the backhand volley from the previous point from Schneeman, and this is obviously a great start from Bouchard and Schneeman.
I have bad bunions. Wish they'd disappear.
Lapiplasty.
Sup? Future me? And no bunions! How?
Lapiplasty.
Lapiplasty corrects bunions at the source, meaning you're back in sneakers in weeks.
Lapiplasty.
Weeks! The future of bunion surgery is here. Learn more at lapiplasty.com. Risks include infection, pain, and loss of correction.
Matchup, one that we have been waiting to see. Paris Chan and Kate Fahey, they've battled before. This is some of the best pickleball I've seen Genie Bouchard play. Missed it there wide, but she's looking good.
Yeah, I mean, set up the point perfectly. Had a big part of the open court to push that backhand volley into, and just missed. Exactly what Schneeman needed after that timeout.
1-5.
2 errors, but they were forced by nice shots from Lacy. Yeah, didn't quite clear her body. Lacy Schneemann, looking to run around the backhand and find the forehand, but makes it tough to get into the proper position. Again, we've seen a couple times in previous matches today that short and low return is a lot to handle. Force your opponent into a tough decision. Do they drop it? Do they fully go for it? And Bouchard making the wrong decision on the last one.
There's a lower, lively looking Lacy Schneemann on her way up to the kitchen.
Yeah, she's got that loose arm. Lots of power on the forehand side, especially. One of the first times we've seen it in this match.
Little light for Schneemann.
And I mentioned just a couple points ago, her not clearing her body to find her contact point when running around the backhand. This time, she did it to perfection.
3-5.
And there it is, Lacy Schneemann storming right back, pulls within 1 after trailing 5-0. Another look at the last point.
4-5. Fight out.
And earlier in the match this morning, you talked about the length that could potentially be the factor, the winning factor against Annalie Waters. Is Genie Bouchard the build that would maybe be that length you would look for?
just pulls it. But absolutely, you know, a nice athletic frame, a good mover, but also has the reach. So, I mean, of course, you need some other attributes.
Right, exactly.
But I think that that's kind of the blueprint or some of like the core traits that you're looking for someone to take out the Wonder Kid.
Yeah, because at the moment, I don't think anyone's even close to catching her. I mean, like, it is...
Yeah, I mean,
Annalie Waters and everybody else.
Yeah, I think Annalie and number 2 is almost like, you know, the 1 seed Fed Stacksrud to the number 30 guy. Like, that's, you know, with the depth in the men's and the fact that Annalie is just, you know, head and shoulders above everyone. It's just wild, especially at, you know, her tender age.
She has 17,000 points. Brooke Buckner has 10,000 for reference. Not even close. That's nice. Little cat and mouse action from Lacy Schneemann.
Beautiful combination. Short in the court and takes her time. And it was fairly easy, but you got to make sure you execute that last ball up the line as Genie Bouchard was crashing back.
Point.
Yeah, I mean, just took one time out for Lacy Schneemann. I mean, she was in trouble, 5-0, and she looks like a completely different player right now. Uh-oh.
Six, 5. Right out.
Yeah, also, we've talked about the perfect weather and conditions, and I think with this temperature, too, the ball is just right where it needs to be.
Yeah.
You know, not so hot that it's going to really soften up and not cool enough to kind of make that ball harder and really affect the strategy and the shots of the players. Just, you know, mint conditions.
Six.
Call was wide there for...
Oh, I think she...
gave it back. I was going to say, that looked right on the line.
What a return from Genie Bouchard.
6. Point.
All right, well struck again from Bouchard. As Lacy Schneemann nowhere near that forehand. So, yeah, just quick start, answered from Schneemann, and now we're going to have a tight finish to end game 1.
Bouchard puts it down. Another great point.
And that second shot from Bouchard, where she took a ton of pace off and rolled that ball cross court with the two-handed backhand, I don't think she would have had that good decision and execution just a few months ago. So
yeah, I think you're right.
That's great growth. And I talked about her mixing the paces. You have to do it at this level. Nice slice backspin on that backhand volley of Schneemann. That particular shot let her down early. It looks like she has it figured out, though, now.
Right out. Eight, 6. Point.
Yeah, it's tough. Missed forehand 1 point ago from the third shot, and that carries over to the next point for Schneemann and sails the return long.
9-6.
Bouchard with world-class footwork on display.
Timeout receivers, 10-6.
Kate Fahey on the bench with Lacy Schneemann.
She just got booted.
You can't boot her. Game point for Genie Bouchard.
Boot Fahey?
Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Wow, big serve from Bouchard, missed return from against Schneeman. Schneeman back to serve first to Bouchard. That's a great shot from Schneeman. Cross court, hits the sideline.
Yeah, back-to-back. Lovely two-handed backhands from Genie Bouchard. But
Yeah,
Lacy Schneeman says, I'm going to one-up you here with that great pass. And Michelle, unfortunately, don't have any information specifically, but it looks like Georgia Johnson has withdrawn from the singles tournament, and Angie Walker will move forward to the round of 16 to play Catherine Parento.
All right, we hope she's okay.
One. Point.
I mean, very solid serve from Genie, but I wouldn't say anything too spectacular. So I think that's the difference right now from Schneeman is you're always going to be forced into some errors, but you can't make it easier on your opponent. And Lacy is having trouble finding that consistency. Great footwork to avoid the kitchen, but clearly puts Schneeman, you know, out of position in a big way.
3-1. Point.
So playing well and getting fortunate. Just absolute perfect start to game 2 for Bouchard.
Coming up next, it's Jack Sock and Kaysen Campbell. That's going to be a fun match to cover. A lot of tennis prowess on display today. Genie Bouchard just keeps on cruising. 5-1 lead now, game 2. Timeout called early for Lacy. Would drop down to 8. Paris Todd would leapfrog her at 7. So really, Kate is playing for Mary Brasha's points.
Right, and Mary Brasha went 3 games earlier this morning, but was able to get it done. So she moves forward. The only issue for Mary is if she wins her next round, she will have to play Annalie Waters.
Genie Bouchard is playing great inside out with a pass. 7-1. I mean, give Genie Bouchard a lot of credit. She took a lot of flack earlier this season when she entered the stage, maybe a little bit less prepared than she would have hoped.
Oh yeah, that's a big forehand from Schneeman up the line. But yes, I remember the Masters in Palm Desert, and you know, maybe possibly Genie could have got memed a couple times for a couple shots that she made, but it's growing, and she is putting in the work. Dave Fleming mentioned that yesterday. What a get. That, you know, she's drilling, she's asking questions, she's wanting to get better, and it's clearly showing in her results. She, you know, won some doubles matches yesterday, and on the singles court, this is a very, very good opponent who's on the cusp of that top 8, as we just mentioned, and Genie's handling her somewhat easily right now.
8-1 lead now in game 2. Look at that reach at the kitchen.
8-1.
That's the athleticism a lot of people were excited to see in women's singles.
Point.
Schneeman lets Genie Bouchard off the hook. That was one she wants back, to say the least.
Yeah, and you know, Genie is not going to be able to sneak into that top 8, but she's the 17 seed. That's not too shabby, considering, you know, where she started the year. So, you know, fun to watch her play. Yeah,
fun to watch her strengths shine as well. She's scored 14 of the last 15.
Genie Bouchard and Caitlin Christian had a bit too much power for the youngsters, but a very fun match to call yesterday.
Pitched it to the corner, trying to go for the forehand side of Schneeman. Just a bit.
Nice serve from Schneeman. Has to start somewhere.
2-9. Side out.
And followed it up with a missed opportunity.
Yeah, and trading good shot and bad shot right now from Schneeman is not going to get it done with this big deficit. Yeah, not sure how Bouchard got out of that one, as the initial backhand roll was not struck how she wanted to hit it. So again, Schneeman just handing a few freebies, few too many freebies over to Bouchard.
And match sealed by Genie Bouchard at 11-1 in game 2 to take it off of Lacy Schneemann. That is a big win for Genie Bouchard, who continues to rise in the game. And wow, what a moment.